answer.
What's that one that wasn't the right
you're
answer?
You're going to start this episode with a spoiler from the last episode?
No, this is legitimately for me, not anything else. So give me the paper.
What's the one that was the...
What are you talking about?
There was a whole bunch of questions.
There was a bunch of them that were the wrong answer, yeah.
Well,
like,
one
most of the ones you answered were the wrong answer.
You know what? The one that was full metal skin...
robot skin.
Yeah. I want to know that because I'm having the same thing. Is that Full Metal Panic?
It's got to be connected to Full Metal Panic.
Panic at the Skin.
It is.
I have that daily, man.
Scootaloo.
Super Scootaloo Death
Metal
Strike.
Skin Panic Maddox -01.
Metal.
Oh, yeah, here it is. It's a 1987 film. And that's a badass looking mech. Holy shit.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, while they're looking that up...
It has nothing to do with Full Metal Panic.
Okay.
While you're looking at it, I'm going to do the intro by memory.
Oh,
sort of
really?
seems like it's inspired by maybe Warhammer a little bit. That's a nice ultramarine blue colored suit.
Hey, I want to hear how badly this goes.
What are you looking at? This is definitely green and teal.
The one I got is like straight up Space Marine blue.
That is ultramarine blue, but yeah, that doesn't look like that's the actual color.
All right, you ready? Here we go. From memory. Hello and welcome.
Yeah, so this looks really cool. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Very
like battle techy mech warrior kind of style. Metal Skin Panic Maddox 1. Okay.
-1. Okay.
The hyphen makes
it got
the
divorced.
Mm-hmm. Like hyphen, Adam trying to do the thing from memory.
I broke
right. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I broke my hyphen once.
Hello and welcome.
Oh, I found a picture where it's the blue. The ultramarine blue. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Hello,
I wonder why it's some blue, some of it's green.
A damage control podcasting show. A professional.
Did you guys see when he looked up into above my head like he was reading a spread of memory?
A professional look at the conventions, ideas, and genres of filmmaking. I'm here with
Cody Dietrich,
Daniel Newkirk. Daniel Newkirk.
Me.
Tyler. Today's topic: comic book story arcs that should be made movies. But before
Oh my God, he's using his phone.
No, I found websites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got to go to Supernatural Wiki and Ranker and read all of the rankers.
Thank you, BuzzFeed.
No, this is shit. It may be BuzzFeed. MovieWeb.com.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so before, because this was
Our podcast is just Adam going to different websites.
This episode was hard to do
BuzzFeed,
research
the
on.
podcast.
If there were no pictures, it would just be Adam in a room just trying to change his voice.
Okay.
What do you think, Cody? Well, I think this.
What about we, Marsh?
Wait. Is Cody from the 1950s?
Yeah. Disrespect me, see?
I do impressions about as good as Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, there's a picture of Sean Connery, and it said, "A book fell on my head. I can only blame myself."
A book fell on my head. I can only blink myself.
Yeah. So, Adam, you have a pretty good Sean Connery impression, don't you?
Yes.
Dude, I hope you know this is the time where we're laughing at you, not with you.
I'm laughing with him.
Here's my impression. Here's my impression of Cody as a 1920s man. Cody, where do you go fishing at? Just she.
Okay, that was good. Sorry.
Okay, all right. So before we get to comic book story arcs that should be made into comics, let's go to movieweb.com.
Wait, did we actually talk about what the topic is?
Yeah, I just said
Okay.
Let's go to movieweb.com's 15 most overused tropes in superhero movies.
Okay.
We'll see if we agree with them or not.
Yeah.
Okay?
As number one is not the hero's journey, then I don't believe in this.
This is
website.
updated July 24th, 2023, just so we have an idea. Okay, here we go. Number 15. Or 17. What the fuck? It said 15.
Number 17 of 15.
Why
15 and more.
What starts at 17?
Right?
Okay.
That sounds like a guy who tried to write a top 20 list and like, crap, I don't got anything.
So
it
it
was
was
stopped at 17.
So it was written by Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just submitted it to his editor and been like, yeah, it's like the top 15 or something.
Yeah.
They
and the
say,
editor like, okay, 15.
For number 17, the most overused trope, number 17, cameos.
Not overused. A good cameo is a thing to be appreciated.
Like, if they're specifically doing, like, making jest at the Stan Lee cameo, fuck them. That's
Right.
one of the best things. That's like a...
They're mainly attacking the Flash.
I mean, The Flash was a shit movie.
Well, okay.
The Flash movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I see what they're saying. Like, if they're using cameos as a...
They even said the last sentence on this is the Stan Lee cameos get a pass.
Good, yeah. Stanley cameos are real good.
Like, if they're using cameos as hallmarks or tent poles of the movie, like, oh, that was an awesome thing. You remember that old DC property that really referenced? If that's the only thing that they're basing...
No Way Home.
Yeah.
No Way Home was great. And they didn't do that.
And
they were the major plot point.
Yeah.
And, like...
So was it in the Flash?
But the problem...
I haven't seen that. No idea.
The problem is that, I don't know, the Flash just did it terribly.
Yeah, I think it would be, like... So to be perfectly honest, we would be talking about Multiverse of Madness if everyone's opinions of what Multiverse of Madness should have been had happened. Where they're talking about, like, jumping to every universe and seeing all the different MCU stuff. Like, that is the same thing Flash did, and we would be talking about it here. But Multiverse of Madness, I think, did their little things very, very well. And really the only cameos, if you want to call them cameos, were Captain Carter and Professor X. Everything else was unique.
Okay, number 16. The hero creates their own villain.
Yeah, that happens in every fucking superhero movie.
Is that also tied with the hero has to fight the evil version of himself every first movie?
Oh, we'll find out.
God, I hope so, because that is so annoying.
Number 15. Power loss makes you stronger.
Yeah, that has to happen in movie 2.
Or 3.
Or 3.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, Iron Man 3, Spider-Man 2, yeah.
Okay, apparently 13 and 14 are labeled as the same one, so I don't know what the fuck MovieWeb.com's doing.
Yeah.
But their friend...
That's right, MovieWeb.com, we're calling you out.
Yeah, we're bringing you down. Their friend...
Next time, write better articles that we can steal and use for our podcast.
Yeah, knowing us, like, the one dedicated listener we have is the guy who wrote MovieWeb, and he's like... They're going to read my article on the podcast?
He's like, that's not very nice, guys.
Right? And we're going to lose our one subscriber.
Yeah.
13, 14. The friend gets power.
Shouldn't it be 14,
Powers.
13?
They got a picture of Shazam.
Honestly,
So when he spreads out his
no, because that's part of the source material that the other members of the family gets powers.
Right, so I think Shazam does it okay. Smallville did not. Smallville, by the end of that fucking series, there was not a goddamn human on the planet. Mm-hmm. Every single person got powers.
There should have been no one left in Smallville because the villain died every single episode.
Yeah,
right.
and that one chick was bringing women to that sex cult.
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
Oh, okay. Number 12.
I just need an address.
Well, can we talk about that a little bit more?
The sex
The
cult?
address?
No, yeah, well, that later, but the best
Wait, the
friend...
address or the sex cult?
Both those, but the original point of what started the sex cult, the friends getting powers. Like, honestly, I don't... Yeah, if their only example is Shazam, I don't know if that's a relevant one, because the closest one I get is Rhodey getting the War Machine suit. But the rest of the Marvel really doesn't do it, because everybody that does get power canonically has powers.
Would you classify Harry Osborn? Well, I guess he was the Green Goblin in the comics.
Spider-Man is especially bad about that. Because you got Harry Osborn who gets powers.
Flash.
You get Flash Thompson who gets powers. MJ gets powers. Felicia Harding gets powers.
Yes, in the comics, not in the movies. The only one that happens to is...
Ned Lead gets powers.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, I can see that one.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm not seeing a lot of examples. It doesn't happen in every single one, in my opinion. It took until Avengers... Well, I guess Pepper got powers in Iron Man 3.
Pepper got powers. Rhodey got powers. Let's see. X-Men is bad about it, too. Everyone who knows a mutant becomes a mutant at some point.
Oh, he had a latent mutant gene.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
I outgrew my mutant genes.
Bucky gets powers.
True. He did just start off as guy who died, and now we got to make him relevant again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Then that was the big reveal for Winter Soldier. It's
Wasn't
Bucky.
wasn't that the whole point? Like, wasn't there a classic line? Uncle Ben, Bucky, Jason Todd are the only ones that ever stayed dead, and then they changed like all of them except Uncle Ben.
Yeah, Uncle Ben's the only one who actually has stayed dead.
Like,
The only character to ever die in comic books.
Well, it turns out Uncle Ben's the one above all.
are you fucking with me?
Yes. Okay.
That's why he makes such good rice.
Number 12. Fake relatability between the hero and the villain. We're not so different, you and I. She.
See, I said
So
that.
is
Remember?
it fake?
Yeah.
Is it the villain saying classically like, "You just made a slightly different choice than I, but we started from the same point," and then they're like, "No, like you was like a fucking multi-billionaire fucking warmonger from the beginning. I just wanted to make cool shit," or so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think the big hallmark of that is there's a comment like that from the Joker in Dark Knight, where he says something to that extent to Batman, and it's like, no, you guys could not be more opposite, and that's maybe how you guys are alike, that you cannot be more opposite.
Yeah, he says that, and Batman says, "You're wearing hockey pads," I think is the line.
Oh, that's from.
What makes
I mean-
maybe what makes you what you do and what I'm doing different? I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Okay, number 11.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
wearing
shit.
football gear.
There you go. You and I are not so different. Thanks, movieweb.com. Number 11. Repeating origin stories.
Oh yeah, I mean,
What way in the article is saying?
How many times do audience need to see the origin of Spider-Man, Batman, or Superman?
Well, honestly, Spider-Man, they technically did it twice. With Spectacular, they did it again, but they chose to circumnavigate it for the Tom Holland one, so I think they learned its lesson on Tom Holland.
right,
But-
but I think you have to look at the other medias too, besides not just the MCU, because you also did the death of Uncle Ben, in all of the comics or all the animated movies, basically. Like the '98 Spider-Man did the death of Uncle Ben.
And how many Batman comics can you read and not see the pearls flying at least at one point?
Well, speaking movie-wise, but like there's a difference between everyone here at this table knows Spider-Man's origins, Batman's origins, but they're making superhero movies knowing that we're gonna go see it, but they also want to make it so that everybody else goes and sees it.
And understands slightly where this guy come from.
Like, hated the Green Lantern movie, and I thought it was dumb, and it made me mad because they changed so much. And I remember you told me, you're like, well, they made a Green Lantern movie, but they didn't make it just for Green Lantern fans. They had to make it, which they did poorly, they had to make it for
They gotta explain what the fuck a Green
Joe,
Lantern
everybody,
is.
to walk into the theater.
Right, and that's something that like fans like us do have to remember, is that like not everyone who walks in knows those origin stories, and that's why we see that stuff repeated in comics a lot too. Because your average comic book collector, your new comic book collector, isn't going to come in and be like, "I really want to know more about Superman. Hand me that book from the 1920s." They're going to find the new launching point where they have to catch them up on decades worth of storyline that's relevant to them.
So I think if it's done right, it's not so bad. Like, yes, the Batman origin has been done,
Well, has it been done? Like, we obviously had the Batman Begins do the storyline. We did not see the actual origin of the Ben Affleck storyline, but even in the Tim Burton one, we start off with not immediately starting with how he starts out. It's shown later how he came to that point.
But it's still in the movie.
Yeah, it's still an origin where it shows Joe Chill doing his thing.
Okay.
Or I guess it's not Joe Chill in that one.
Jack Napier.
But, honestly, in movies, we've only seen it twice. If you think about it.
I mean, that's...
I don't want to think about it.
Well,
that's fair.
they mention it in Batman Forever. They mention it, I think, in Batman and Robin 2. They mention it. It's... But
it's
same...
in the animated series.
I
get what you're saying. It's not necessarily overdone.
If it's just the illusion or a flashback to a thing, I think that's different than an actual full-blown origin.
That's fair.
But at the same time, when you have the event that takes a normal kid and transforms them to become the peak of human physical perfection and become Batman, you have to, hit on this point where, okay, this is why he's doing it.
This isn't just a rich guy who decided to do it one day.
Right. And it is important to talk about those origins and those motivations, because that's why we go to see the superhero movies, is for them to see them do the things they would do. And it's the difference between going to see an action movie versus a superhero movie is the moral and the high standing, the caliber of that person. So no, I actually really get what you're saying there.
They need to do the Kyle Rayner origin more.
And I feel like maybe instead of the same origin story being happening,
where she gets shoved in the fridge,
is maybe more of a...
You didn't know that?
No.
It's with the woman in a fridge. That's where that cliche comes from.
He becomes Green Lantern and he doesn't want to do it, and his girlfriend convinces him, and he comes home and the villain Major Force folds her up and shoves her in the fridge.
Okay, I have seen this. Okay,
and then that woman was the character of the girlfriend or woman was created literally just to be put in the refrigerator.
And they after that happens, they don't mention her again until decades later in Blackest Night. He starts hallucinating, he's out in space, and all of a sudden there's just a fucking floating fridge, and his girlfriend's voice is coming from it.
Wow.
Well, instead of maybe a caveat of the same origin story happens all the time, maybe it's more of the caveat that, do we have to have an origin story for every new hero that comes out? Is that a must to understand this character, or can they get by not doing an origin story? Because, and the point Tyler made, how do you know what this guy is and why he's doing it without the origin story? And I get people are tired of origin stories, but they are needed.
I think it can be done both ways. You can do it without an origin story, and then you can... It depends on how you set up your movie or comic, I guess.
So what hero could you do without an origin story?
Batman.
Not a big name. I think that's the caveat.
What new character can you bring into the universe without an origin story?
I heard this really good Lone Ranger pitch that might...
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. Okay, no, seriously. Think of a DCU character that's not in... Or a DC character that's not in DCU. And think of an MCU character. And what is a character you can do without an origin or a background?
John Constantine.
They technically done that. Constantine was doing his stuff, and you got minor sneak peeks, but it wasn't his first dealing with a devil.
I mean, that's true. I mean, they tell his background in both the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie and in the Matt Ryan series.
I think maybe you guys know Zombieland.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's character is just presented as this badass killer who just hates zombies, kills zombies very efficiently. And they have literally 5 to 2 minutes of explaining why he's good at what he does, where it explains, his kid got eaten by a zombie, that's why he fucking hates zombies. And just in that 5 minutes, it explains everything you need to know of why he's doing what he's doing. So maybe... the idea is just the timing and how you present the origin story. Maybe the first movie could be considered an origin story if you just give us that 5 minutes of telling us why they're doing it.
Yeah, but you still have to include their origin, though. So even if it's a 5-minute origin story of exposition, you still have to give the origin story.
I think the origin story that most people are tired of is your non-superpowered character, whatever catalyst that gives him the power, him training to have the power, in the last 5 minutes he suits up and he becomes a hero that everyone wanted to see from the beginning. I think that's the story that people are getting tired of seeing. They just they
want them to immediately be in the action.
And then if it's all presented in reverse story or just talked about, I think that would be different than...
So you want Tim Burton Batman, where he's
already
Batman right
ass
at the beginning, and then it gradually kicks out.
I think
a small origin of the...
And Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Is that the movie that's wholly around the hero getting his powers? We can go by the wayside on that. But I think you have to tell the story. You have to tell the origin of why they're doing things, because even like the only character I can think of where they didn't do that was Spider-Man in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Like they didn't really go into Uncle Ben at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even then, his first solo movie is still him trying to learn to be Spider-Man. That's why I hated it so much. Because you had a very established Spider-Man in Civil War, and then you have this fuck-up kid after Civil War.
The backtracking.
Yeah, the backtracking.
We need to scootaloo to the next number.
All right, Scootaloo. Are
Number
we going
10.
through all 17 of these?
Yeah, we're almost done. Number 10.
So we're not even halfway.
No.
The society. Well, we need to scootaloo along.
Okay, so you're saying don't spend
the
spend time on the
society.
topics you are presenting.
The society rejected villain,
Yeah,
and they're saying,
like Riddler.
yeah. Did you see
Or-
the picture on there?
No.
Oh, okay.
Or fucking
Fucking love him.
emo Doctor Doom, who's just too smart for this world.
Yeah, or
From
Jamie Foxx's
Fantastic-
Electro.
Yeah.
That's on here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're scootalooing along.
Scootaloo.
This one I agree with, and I hate the character, but I'm tired of seeing him portrayed this way.
Harley Quinn.
The evil Superman.
Oh.
Number 9, the evil Superman. Let's move on.
There's way too many evil Supermen.
So the same evil, is it the evil Superman or the villain that is the same as the hero?
They just want to like kick Superman in the balls. Like for whatever reason, they don't want him to be the Boy Scout anymore. It's just
Oh, you're talking about Superman turning evil.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, because in every multiverse, Superman's a bad guy.
Yeah, it's like they refuse to just let him be the Boy Scout.
Yeah, he's only the good guy in the one DC universe. Like
Because people like dark stuff.
yeah, but you mean you also have like Homelander and Omni-Man that are obviously just evil Supermen.
Right, but I think the problem with those is
That's in
those
here
are
too. Jesus Christ, you're on top of it.
Those are
Daniel wrote the fucking article.
Well,
Yeah.
Did you look at this?
No, I wrote it.
Oh.
Well, the thing about
My
these,
pen name.
Why the fuck is your numbers all messed up?
those are
long
relatively
story.
older properties because those are from like 10, 15, 20 years ago. Some of those properties, Omni-Man, Homelander, these were things that were from a little bit ago that just didn't have the gumption to go forward until now.
Well,
Sure, but they're still evil Superman. Their still premise is this character is going to be Superman, but he's evil.
Yeah, and I get that.
They even
But-
did that. They even did that with He-Man. They got the anti-attorney in He-Man.
Hmm. And then you got like Jupiter's Legacy that has the same thing, and then you have that same thing in that terrible superhero movie that had DDP as the Batman.
DDP is the
Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, Diamond Dallas Page was the Batman in that universe. It was one of those so bad it was good kind of movies.
Oh, while he's looking that up, we're going to scootaloo along. Number 8, the evil variant versus the good guy. So, like someone brought it up: Flash versus Flash, Ant-Man versus.
Okay,
Jojo.
so the hero versus his same powered villain.
right. Hulk versus Abomination, Spider-Man versus Zod. The list goes on.
Spider-Man versus Zod.
Superman versus Zod. Sorry.
Don't remember that one.
Okay, scootaloo
Yeah, I can
along.
do without that.
The fake death. Number 7, the fake death.
Yeah.
They give no examples of that.
Oh, there's so many fake decks. How many times Nick Fury died? Captain America didn't die. Superman resurrected in the very next movie.
This one may be controversial. Number 6, post-credit scenes.
The Guardians of Justice.
Oh, okay, Guardians of Justice.
I like the post credits. I admit they're not as unique as they first were.
They probably shouldn't hang a whole movie on it.
I like the first Iron Man post-credit scene.
That one was amazing.
The Nick Fury, but after that, I mean, none of them have really stuck out anymore. Now it seems like you're waiting around for like an Easter egg, like I think was it Guardians 1 where it was like you waited the entire time and it was like Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Speaking of Easter eggs, number 5, army of generic faceless minions.
I mean, how
They've been doing that since Power Rangers.
How are you gonna?
Jesus, it says they've been doing that since Power Rangers.
Do they really?
No.
Oh.
I mean, how are you gonna, create an army? I mean,
you can't make everybody unique. That's just not feasible.
It's just like Stormtroop. I mean,
Unless...
Yeah, I think there's a place for it. I think there's some IPs that it doesn't work on, or it shouldn't work on. So, like...
Number 4 is not even here.
That's why it's 15. So, like, in superhero stuff, I mean, you have Hydra agents and SHIELD agents, and you have members of AIM and Friends of Humanity and Omega Sentinels. You have all these things that are supposed to be throwaway. Foot Clan.
cannon
Cobras.
cannon fodder.
Yeah, cannon fodder. You have those units. But then in Transformers, you don't have that. Every Transformer is unique and special and is a hallmark of its own. And, like, there's a need for cannon fodder generic
What a surprise.
garbage.
He's throwing out Transformer propaganda.
Well, yeah, because this is always my big complaint about Transformers is that you have this field of generic Decepticons that have nothing about them.
But they did that with some of the later, like Beast Wars had that a lot when they went to the back to Cybertron, where it was technological versus biological, where you had
Beast Machines,
Beast Machines, where you had loads of the same jet variant, the loads of the same tank variant.
Right, they started doing that because they found the need for generic bad guys that they could destroy.
Yeah,
and because they didn't want to keep hurting people's favorite characters.
Right.
Okay.
The red shirts,
Scooting right along. Number 3.
Moving right along.
Apocalyptic doomisms. Basically, the big blue light in the sky. It's a fight for Gotham's soul, not just like a simple crime thing.
Yeah.
Where the stakes have to be the absolute to the max. If we don't win, everything is gone. But of course, they're going to win.
I would love a street level Batman movie.
That's what they should have done with the Batman. They should have left it as the chase with the Riddler instead of adding in, oh, by the way, I'm going to flood the entire city now.
Well,
It should have just been a cat and mouse Batman detective story.
Well,
and Batman should not have won that one. That should have been Batman losing in that movie.
Well, I mean,
he basically did. I mean, he didn't figure anything out. The Riddler told him basically everything.
Yeah, but Riddler still ends up behind bars.
That's true.
Like, I think it's a step in the right direction because the previous Batman was to save the world from an alien invasion. So I think they did tone down, not in that series, but
Batman v Superman.
Batman v Superman.
The best.
Like, I know we keep forgetting about it because we want to forget it.
It's the best
but
movie out
it
there.
technically is a tone down, and it is technically a more street level than anything. Because if Superman was a part of that, he could have, or Flash, a part of that situation, there would have been no flooding whatsoever. Because Flash, bombs, they're gone. Superman, I see all of them right there, gone. Yeah. So I think it was still technically street level.
It'd be even cool.
It was high stakes street level, but at the end of the day, it's only affecting that one city.
You see, and I think I get what you're saying. The movie that I would want is like Mr. Zsasz is the villain.
Yes.
And he's just chasing from...
Or Professor Pig.
Murder to murder to murder, And
it's a non-powered hero against a non-powered villain.
Yeah. And I think you don't need to have the total destruction of Gotham City. Like, if you want to put high stakes on it, let Zaz's final murder be the mayor. Or something like that, and that be the final stakes.
Or...
Alfred.
Or...
Gordon.
A villain on a scooter. So let's scooter right along. Number 2. Portals.
These segues are terrible.
Thank you.
Segues.
So, here is how I'd read a Zsasz movie, right? So, canonically, and this gets left out of Zaz's storyline a lot, but he's a rapist, too.
Oh, God.
Right? He's a serial murderer and rapist. That's what every tally is on his skin. So, you start with, like, a series of unconnected or unimportant, like, I hate to say unimportant rapes, but you know what I'm saying. Like, generic people. And then, like Batman's starting to address things, and then, like, he's starting to uncover things. You have a couple more generic people, and then at the midway point, he hits Vicky Vale, and maybe Batman stops him or comes in just too late, and then you have like that drama of him and Vicky Vale, and then like it continues on a little bit more, and the final like big stakes is Barbara Gordon, and Batman saves Barbara from Zsasz, and that is like Barbara's, I want to do that. I don't want to be a victim. I want to be a hero. And then movie 2 you can start seeing like the catalyst of Batgirl.
Hero, baby.
And then the poster is it's all black, and it's got Zaz's arms, and it's got like three marks
haircuts
on it, and it's like September 3rd is when it comes out.
Yes,
September 11th.
March 3rd. Yes, 100%. Hollywood, hire me. What are you doing?
Warner Brothers is destroying their catalog. That's
that is a great thriller. I think we all know that it might not happen.
Why not?
After what Superman... It had to be
I can guarantee you it's not going to happen because no one Warner Brothers is not listening to this. I mean, that'd be fucking awesome if they were, but I can guarantee you.
Well, honestly, with
Bill
them doing
Warner is
Joker, I
one
could
of our
see him going
subscribers.
more towards that. So, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I could see it happen.
You just got to make it a rated R because you're dealing with rape. But even then, I guess you could make it PG-13 and could leave that out, but you're really doing Zsasz a disservice as a villain because that is what makes him so vile, in my opinion.
Okay, number 2, Portals.
What do you mean portals? Like
Portals
on your left?
Oh, just everybody being anywhere at the right exact time.
Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and even recently in Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Yeah, everyone just opens a portal when they need to get somewhere fast.
But at the same time, you only have
That was our penultimate.
a definitive length to do something. I mean, if you're trying to make things realistic, I mean, as realistic as you can in a live-action Transformers movie, you know, if you have a deadline to get from point A to point B, you know, you have to create some kind of fast travel, like to play devil's advocate, I guess. Like they talked about this in.
This is such a weird fucking article.
In
15 most overused tropes.
No, it's fine. I wasn't talking.
No, very first paragraph. Here are 16 tropes in superhero movies that are required. Okay, the very first number, 17. What the fuck is going on in this article?
Yeah, come on, Web. Was it WebX?
But yeah,
What's
like
the name of the fucking thing?
Movie web.
Movie Web.
Because hearing like, oh no, Megatron has gotten the Allspark. We only got 3 months to find him 3 miles away.
Well, it's like
I'm exaggerating there.
At the end, the final seasons of Game of Thrones, like people traverse the entire continent in, you know, like a week, whereas like in the first season, it's like it takes 3 months to go from Winterfell to King's Landing.
Dragonglass.
Right, I see what you're saying with the portals. Like sometimes it's required.
Was that right?
And I think you could, in the IP, make sense. But to me, I think you just change the time frame.
Well,
like,
yeah,
that can easily be solved in the edit. Like it's just cheap writing. Like, oh, they have the MacGuffin now. The world is imminent doom. Oh, we have a portal MacGuffin, and then we will have a MacGuffin off.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, like as devil's advocate, you know, there are times when you have to use some kind of, you know.
Tyler, give me a drum roll.
He's talking.
Number 1. Wait, what was it? The multiverse. The multiverse.
That's a hell of a fill. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What about it?
We just started getting into the multiverse.
Yeah. So what were you saying before Adam scootalooed into the multiverse?
It was basically just like sometimes there's no way around it, so like you have to throw something in.
Tyler.
No, I agree that
number
sometimes
1.
there's no way around it, but I just think you change the writing.
Yeah.
Number 1 most overused trope. The multiverse.
We've just started the
Daniel.
multiverse. How is it overused?
The number 1 trope, the multiverse.
You see,
This is the multiverse where I'm in charge of the podcast.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
so I think the multiverse thing is only annoying when you're using the same characters over and over again. The multiverse has a lot of really good potential when you start bringing in other IPs. Like when the MCU multiverse is bringing in the X-Men. And they're establishing, these are established people, and now we are establishing why they aren't in the universe, and we can bring them in now. I think that's the right way to do the multiverse. or if you do a significant shakeup, like when you have Captain Carter versus Captain America, I think that multiverse was very interesting to include. But when it's just like, oh, I'm Batman with red eyes, you don't need to have a giant multiverse where there's 18...
There's a Batman with red eyes in the
it's Thomas Wayne.
In the movie?
Not in the movie, it's in the comics.
Flashpoint.
Yeah, Flashpoint.
I know that. I meant the...
I think the Arrowverse did multiverse all right.
Yeah, Arrowverse did that okay.
It was kind of like, it was so that they weren't like, all these superheroes exist, and like Arrow and Flash exist on the same Earth, and then it's like Supergirl's on Earth 38 until they eventually retconned it into Earth Prime. But I thought they did it to where it wasn't.
Yeah, I appreciated the way the Arrowverse did it.
I have an idea for a movie.
Shut up.
It's an underwater movie. Octopus Prime versus Megalotron.
Or Megalodon.
All right, that was not as bad as I was expecting.
Unplug his mic.
Yeah, so I think that's fine, but then you have like the Spider-Verse and the Deadpool verse, and those things to me are really overdone. Because you have Spider-Ham was cute at first, and now you have a Spider everything. You have Spider-Gwen, and you have the Spider Robot, and you have the world when everything is Hindu, and you have Pavri Par or whatever his name is, and then you have...
Isn't there like a T-Rex Spider-Man?
Yeah, and then you have like Deadpool, and you have Panda Pool, and all these weird
in Deadpool's defense, he killed all of his variants.
Which is good. I appreciate that he did that.
So he solved that problem because he made the same comments, and he's like, no, we ain't having this. I'm the only Deadpool. Killed all of his variants.
See, I think if you're going to do...
Even like Gwenpool and Headpool?
I believe so.
If you're going to do a multiverse
Gwenpool, I think,
movie,
got a pass because she's too fucking popular, and she's not technically Gwenpool is not technically a variant of Deadpool. Gwenpool is just Gwen.
Right, it's a variant of Gwen Stacy.
No, not a variant of Gwen Stacy. She's just a girl who happens to be named Gwen, who has knowledge of the Marvel Universe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like a Superboy Prime variant more than she is a Gwen Stacy Prime.
Oh, interesting.
Gwenpool.
You'll hate her. Because people like her, and she's a girl.
She's also 16, so stop that.
Gwenpool. She's a fucking comic book character.
She's 16.
Okay. Alright. Moving right along. Story. Comic book story arcs.
You don't know what I'm doing that from, are you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Thanks, man. Comic book story arcs that should be made into movies.
Yeah. We're only 45 minutes into the episode before we get to the main topic.
37. Throw out your first one, Tyler. This was...
My first one, it's a comic called Dark Gun. Anyone heard of it?
No.
So it's...
No, this isn't comic books that should be made into movies. This is story arcs from movies.
It's a story arc.
Okay.
Oh, fine. Do you want me to change it?
No, go ahead.
Well, I like to hear.
So, thank you. So it's done like in the Umbrella Academy type style, but like it starts off as it's like told through narration, and like this guy, this soldier is at a Native American, like they're pushing the Native Americans back, and he like starts hearing like the cocking sound from a gun, and ends up like going crazy, and it just tells like the story throughout this gun's history, and you find out that these African Americans were burned alive by these racist people in this church, and the metal from the church gates was harvested and made into this gun. Ooh. So it has like this supernatural, these lives were taken, so now I'm going to take as many lives, and like it follows it from like the 1880s to World War I, World War II, and then it jumps forward into like the year like 2500 or something, where like all weapons have been outlawed, and like you're in the final scene is like in this museum, and it's like for hundreds of years, the bow and arrow was, the weapon of choice. Then came swords, and then it's got like this gun in this glass case, and then the final character is walking out of the panel, and like the last words on the page are the click click that the character hears, saying like that it's not, the story's not over yet. I think that'd be something different.
So it's sort of like a Cloud Atlas sort of storyline of following this gun throughout history, sort of thing. So we have like would it be like a mini episode sort of thing? Each episode would be a different aura, or would it just be a long ass movie where we have just different people holding this gun like a dog's purpose?
I would say it would just be a long ass movie.
Okay.
Because like the first character is like realizes that he's done something wrong, and then he gives it to his son, and then his son becomes this bank robber who's chased by this cop, and the cop ends up killing him and takes his gun, and then he finds out that there was never any bullets in the gun. He used it as like a fear tactic.
Oh.
And so then then it goes to the detective, and the detective's like, why didn't he have any bullets in his gun? Why did he do this and make me the villain, like that I had to kill him? And then like he ends up like going insane because he keeps hearing the clicking
and no bullet being fired.
So it's like a thriller type of thing.
That's really interesting. I like that idea.
What
was the name of it again?
Dark Gun.
Dark Gun.
Huh. I like that.
I have a sequel to that about a helmet, and we call it Dark Helmet.
We would never be able to get anyone to play that part.
I think there's a Canadian we might get. I mean, I think he's retired. And the last time he was in New York, someone sucker punched him in the face. But
I misunderstood the homework. I thought it was already established movies that have been constantly recycling the same story arcs and coming up with stories.
That could be one thing.
I took it as what's a comic book storyline or comic book to turn into a movie.
Yeah, I think you both interpreted it the same way. Because I interpreted it the way that you interpreted it.
There is no wrong answer.
Yes, there is.
That is correct. What you have planned is also correct. Unless it's bad, then it'd be incorrect.
All right, so it's Scootaloo and Applejack.
So I don't know if you've heard of the storyline. It's called Nightfall. I don't think they've ever done it in the comics.
Wow.
Basically, some weird version of Dark Knight Returns. They've never done that.
Okay, so my one, if I had to pick one storyline, and frankly, I'm torn between two, but one of them you could still do in today's MCU. One of them you can't because you fucked it already. But the one that I think the missed opportunity is Fear itself. Especially when you're dealing with the Ragnarok. You could have used Ragnarok to set up Fear itself. And if you're unfamiliar with Fear itself, basically the Asgardian god of fear is awoken, and one of the things he does is drops a whole lot of Mjolnir strength hammers around the MCU, and different people pick up these hammers, and they end up getting infused with the powers of whatever gods they are, but they're all evil, they're dark, they're twisted. And that storyline was a really interesting storyline, because you had these mutated characters who took on the powers of these Asgardian gods. Like you had Grey Gargoyle picks up one, Tuma picks up one, Absorbing Man.
Does that lead into Unworthy Thor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that eventually. No, that's Original Sin that leads into Unworthy Thor.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then the fight back is you have the heroes that all kind of melt down their armor or melt down
Ururu metal.
Yes, thank you, Ururu. And then make weapons and armor out of Ururu, which is the same metal that Mjolnir is made out of.
But to do so, they had to give up something, if I remember right.
Yeah, there's some sort of hero sacrifice that didn't actually matter in the long run.
Well, the reason I say that because Tony Stark's one, to get the Uro metal armor, he had to give up his sobriety.
Yeah.
Ruru, I thought that was Ironheart. Ruru Williams.
Uru metal.
I thought Ubu was the good dog that was supposed to sit.
Yeah, and Fear itself is where you get canonically the first time of Steve Rogers carrying Mjolnir. So, like, that storyline, I think you had a really good potential with Mjolnir being destroyed and with the idea of Ragnarok being destroyed, because this is, or Asgard being destroyed, because this is post Asgard being destroyed in the comics, so Asgard's on Earth. So you could have, like, the new Asgard storyline that you had building up, and I mean, you could do a lot of really cool things with the idea of giving random people and random villains that you have established powers. You get to see Taskmaster with a hammer. That would be cool.
Is this the one that they fucked that they couldn't do? What was the one you said that they...
Yeah, they can't do that one anymore because the way that they've treated the Asgardians and the storylines, that's just out the window. You can't do that one anymore.
Because instead of being more mythological, they just sort of made it more anti-technology based.
Well, I mean, you've got that, but also, like, you've got the Mjolnir being destroyed, and then you did the Jane Foster storyline already, and you don't have any more Asgardian gods really to deal with.
Yeah, because they sort of skipped Original Sin.
Well, Original Sin is the other one that they could go into. No, Original Sin, like they've already done like the repercussions of Original Sin with Jane Foster getting the hammer, and that's the other one where I'm like, you can still do this one, and it would be pretty good. Which Original Sin at its heart is a murder mystery. Someone kills Uatu, who is the Watcher, and the heroes are going around to find who did it, and they're dealing kind of with the repercussions of who killed the Watcher. And the ultimate end of that storyline is Nick Fury did it. And Nick Fury did it because he wanted Uatu's eyes, because he's doing the man on the wall storyline. He's got the satellite, he's got the sniper rifle, he is shooting and killing these otherworldly entities and saving Earth from these alien monstrosities, and he needs Uatu's eyes to be able to predict when they come better or something like that. And I think you could do that storyline still, because at the end of Secret Invasion, they kind of set back up that Nick Fury's going to be the man on the wall. And ideally, you would want to do that storyline before Secret Invasion in the MCU, because that's when he's the man on the wall. But they still kind of building that up, man on the wall concept for Nick Fury. And I think that's one you could still reasonably translate, and use, because most of the main characters in Original Sin are in the MCU now. The characters you miss out are on, like, the X-Men. You miss out on Storm in that, but you don't really need her. The big point of Storm in that is to be... I think she's still married to Black Panther at that point. And with the new Black Panther being Shuri, you don't need that storyline. So I think you could easily take that and translate it over and be a pretty decent story. And then it sets up big repercussions. It fuels the cosmic storyline that they want to build later on with Galactus and all of that. And it allows you to write off Nick Fury in a way that makes sense, where when shit gets real, you don't need to justify, well, where's Nick Fury in S.H.I.E.L.D. and where is he doing his things, and you also get rid of the Uatu and all the Uatu problems that he can cause. So,
Interesting.
That's Cody's way of saying, shut up, I hate it.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
It always is.
What do you mean it always is?
It always is. It's not, that's interesting. That's you approval when you go, interesting. That is, shut up.
No. I like the idea of Nick, because you're right. They have set up ways where either Nick Fury's off dealing with Sword right now, or they have some bigger scheme of him where he's been playing a longer game than people fucking know.
Here's one they should do in Marvel. It's a well-loved story arc. Everyone loves it. The Clone Saga, Spider-Man.
No.
Why?
No.
I like Scarlet Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think that could be a fun storyline for Tom Holland to go through. The Clone Saga arc. And actually, that could be really interesting with the no one knows who Spider-Man is point now. Because if you had multiple Spider-Man coming out, then you can have that storyline of, like, I'm the real Spider-Man. No, I'm the real Spider-Man. And they're both right because
No,
one's
I'm
Ben Riley.
Spartacus. Oh wait,
Yeah.
I could see Andrew Garfield as Ben Riley.
but he's Peter Parker.
If they don't want to do the thing where they get Spectacular Spider-Man and the main MCU, if they still want, it could be. I could see Andrew Garfield as an older Tom Holland, where they supercharge the genes a little bit too much, and he aged faster than Peter Parker.
And you guys are going to hate me for this. The person I would want to
fucking
play,
hate you.
The person I would want to play Scarlet Spider or Ben Riley is Topher Grayson.
Interesting.
After what he did to Venom?
Yes, especially because of what he did to Venom.
Interesting.
I think that would be the way to do it. Is you have Spider-Man who doesn't get unmasked, right? You keep Spider-Man entirely in his mask the entire time, unless you're specifically dealing with Tom Holland. But even then, I think you just keep him in the mask for the entire fucking movie. And halfway through the movie, he pulls the mask off, and it's Grace or Topher Grayson, whatever the fuck his name is.
Topher Grace.
Yeah.
Basically Christopher Grace.
I think you do that, and you fucking rug pull, and then you have
Madam Web show up.
No, we need to distance ourselves from that shit show.
That apparently was supposed to be Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man universe.
I'm so glad he's not in it. It's
originally when they started writing it, it was Andrew Garfield.
I mean, he could have saved it.
I don't know if anyone could have saved it.
Did you just throw that into my shirt?
Yeah. Cody, do you have a comic book story arc?
I'm kind of flustered right now because you threw a paperclip into my armpit.
Okay, I'll go with why you get unflustered.
Okay.
I don't know how they would do it, but my favorite Batman story arc doesn't even have Batman in it. It's got Dick Grayson as Batman. It's the Black Mirror story arc.
Oh, Black Mirror is good.
I never watched the show.
I go back to it all the time. It's a fun story. Dick Grayson is Batman. James Gordon's son, James Gordon Jr., is a serial killer. And the whole story is about how Gotham has changed because of Batman. Like Bruce's Batman causes Gotham to react a certain way because of the way he is, whereas Dick is more soft.
Dick is soft.
Dick Grayson is a different Batman, so the villains react different to him, and it's a pretty interesting story. I mean, you could change Gordon's son for Zaz. I don't know how you would explain Dick Grayson as Batman, but I would like to see that. It would be interesting.
So again, I think that's kind of a rug pull thing where you spend the first quarter of the movie of Batman as Batman, and then at about the 30-minute mark, maybe the 25-minute mark, he pulls the mask off, and you're like, man, that's a really young Batman, but okay, whatever. And then finally, Alfred's the one that reveals it. It's like, oh, Master Grayson.
No, it's always Master Dick. He calls him Master Dick.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they use the last name for all of them but Damien.
No, I specifically remember him calling him Master Dick.
I atlantically remember neither.
Yeah. But anyway, you have Alfred reveal that it's Dick Grayson, and then the end of the movie, your after credit scene can be Bruce Wayne coming back from Europe or whatever, and he's like, how's Gotham since I've been back? And Dick Grayson is doing the temporary take up of the mantle while Bruce is away, and then you could set up your next storyline. He drops the sword of Azazel. I was like, this is what I found, and whatever, he's doing some other storyline and use that to set up this next storyline, and then you can have Nightwing in the next one.
What if you did Arkham Asylum a serious house
on serious? You would have to somehow translate the artwork, because 30 Days a Night. If you guys read the comic book,
Not the comics. I saw the movie.
Huh?
I saw the movie, but I don't.
Have you seen the artwork of the comics at all?
Mm-mm.
So the vampires are very they're more
Nosferatu?
No. They're more. The artwork is not. They're more
Abstract.
Abstract is the word I kept thinking obtuse, not. But I thought that they translated.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
You're being obtuse.
You're now you're being acute. Wait. Now you're being
Aww.
acute. Anyway, I thought the translation of the abstract artwork was pretty decent in the real life. If they were going to do that, they would have to somehow. I'd want to see.
So you're saying the only reason that story was good was because the abstract artwork and that translated into a real world sort of setting would not do it justice?
I don't think it would do the story justice because it's a good story, but it's a story. It's a story we could do without. If you took out Arkham Asylum, you took out all the name of the characters, it'd still be a good story. But to make it a Batman story and stand out as a Batman story, I think you'd somehow need to translate the artwork. And as much as I hate the Joker and the newest Batman, I thought that would be how you would do the Joker from that.
What if you did it where like he's going through and like you have the villain that's talking, and then like you do it like flashes to the artwork and then flashes back.
I don't. This is my opinion. I don't know. Whatever.
All right. My idea, what I'd like to see
Interesting.
would be a new jumping off point in Marvel, which I think it'd be a way to introduce a bunch of new characters real fast and with a meaningful or at least a satisfactory enough answer of why we're even meeting these guys in the first place. I'd like them to do the Avengers Initiative. As a way of either jump-starting, okay, people are starting to have mutations, but we don't want to go the full sort of we hate mutants storyline, and just and not necessarily basically making an Avengers team for each state of the United States of America. So I have like a mini-series showcasing all these newly powered people, because this is sort of like the holdover we still have from the Civil War that happened in the main MCU, of where people with powers, if you want to use those powers, you got to be approved. Because that never got overturned, I don't think.
I don't think so. I think they do have they did the Superpower Registration Act and all that.
Yeah, stuff. So that's how you get, okay, we've lost a lot of heavy hitters. We need to do something to get those numbers back up. Like, things have happening ever since the snap. People are come back, but they came back with more powers, mutations, whatnot, and that's happening everywhere else as well. So a way of bolstering and then showing so many new people just thrown at the wall, and then what does stick, they can continue on with those. If they don't, they're just a no-name on a team somewhere. It's a way of, I think, safely and at the same time doing a massive influx of people. Like, just not like movies and whatnot, just a Disney Plus wide show. Like, each episode is catering on sort of a team somewhere in the United States of America. You've got the Texas team, you got the Hawaii team, you got the Nevada team, and then sets up for more of what they've already been doing with the Secret Scroll invasion, because that happens with the Avengers Initiative as well. Come to find out, every single and that's where you sort of have the mystery. There's one person in every single one of these teams that's actually a Secret Scroll.
Oh, I thought you said Secret Squirrel. I'm like, God, I love that show.
Yeah, him and his flashing nonsense.
Yeah, I don't think you can do the scroll side of things after Secret Invasion.
Well, have we confirmed they're all gone?
Not all gone, but they kind of write out the Secret Invasion as a storyline at the end of Secret Invasion, because they're doing the Super Scroll storyline in that.
Well, that's the thing about the Scroll Invasion and the Initiative. Every infiltrator is a Super Scroll.
Right, and that doesn't work in the way they did the Super Scroll in Secret Invasion. Have you seen Secret Invasion?
No, I haven't.
Okay, that explains. Yeah, I think you could do all of the Avengers Initiative, but not the Secret Scrolls part of that. But the rest of that, I think, it's a great idea, because then you have all of this justification for bringing in new heroes randomly into the MCU if you need to, and you just need to be like, oh, this is the Montana team, and it also gives you a lot of cannon fodder that you could do some fun things with.
Well, yeah, so you do like straight up 5 people a team, 50 teams across the United States of America, you have so many possibilities of, like, as long as they're in the general area, 'cause sometimes they got shipped off to other states or whatnot, you have ways of introducing so many new heroes, so many new villains that are already established in comics, but this is just an easy way of getting them into the MCU.
Yeah.
What I... oh, you want to go?
No,
Yes,
no,
Adam.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Do you have
wanna
something
go,
to comment on mine?
No.
Okay.
No, mine was a different one. Go ahead. Go.
All right. This one I wanted to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Interesting.
Interesting.
They were going to do a sequel to this movie. Already came out, and they were going to do a sequel to it. Couldn't get it through, so they did a comic book of it, and I think it'd still make a good movie. So, Freddy vs. Jason. Freddy is dead at the end of the movie.
No, he's not.
Dead at the end of the movie.
No, he's not.
You're missing
he
the air
did air
quotes.
quotes.
Or you
Oh, sorry. You need to say air quotes so the people at home can hear them.
So they can
That's
hear
totally
air
what happened
quotes?
here, and Cody didn't realize what the air quotes meant.
Anyways, so
And he saw them.
in the comic books, Jason needs a new machete.
Is
so,
Freddy dead in the comic books?
No, he's not.
So he's alive.
He's not
So
dead.
is this a legit thing where they did a comic book for
Yeah.
a sequel? to
Oh,
Freddy
is
vs.
this the
Jason?
one where it's Freddy versus Jason versus Ash?
So he needs a new machete. So he breaks into a store.
I need to find this book.
He breaks into a store to get a machete. He breaks into S-Mart, and guess who's currently doing inventory at S-Mart?
I'd see
Ash.
this.
But so I think they should do that. You bring in Bruce Campbell doesn't want to do Ash anymore. Robert Englund says his skin will get ripped off if he puts the makeup on. He's so old that taking it off would literally rip his skin off. Fucking get Kane Hodder back, the original Jason. Somehow,
No, if we're not getting the other 2 original, we're recasting Jason as well. It's
Yeah.
only fair.
Kane Hodder. So you get Robert Englund back. Somehow convince Robert Englund to come back.
He said he won't do it because the
They'll,
makeup will rip
they'll
his
probably
skin
just
off.
do mocap.
Somehow convince Bruce Campbell to do one last goodbye. Okay, so you do that, and then not only this is also a backdoor pilot for another franchise, and I think this was either in the comic book or it may have just been an idea that was.
Was it Alien versus Predator throwing up in there too?
No. You introduce Hack and Slash into.
Who's Hack and Slash?
I think Hack is a female with a baseball bat.
So she's bludgeoning instead of hacking.
Or maybe it's a girl and like a big brute guy, and I think the guy has a machete or a bat, and the female has one of them has a machete, one of them has a bat. I don't remember.
A bat doesn't slash or hack.
You can slash a bat.
If
You can
you
swing a bat.
What if it's a wooden bat and it's comes to a point?
Okay,
You
then
could hack.
Owie.
Owie?
But I think that would be. I would want to see that.
So I like that a lot. I think rather than doing hack and slash, you change that storyline just a little bit. And instead of him breaking into S-Mart to get the machete, he starts tracking down someone else who famously used a very large knife. And you have
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah. you have like a Jason versus Michael moment.
That was thrown out. Yeah.
And then when that doesn't quite work out, you have him break into S-Mart. Or maybe the fight takes them through S-Mart. And Ash is like, oh, fuck, are you kidding me? I did not read the book this time.
Okay, I'd be so down for that. But I want Ash to come in later because it's just going to be Michael, Jason, and Freddy fighting each other. And as soon as he gets there, he's going to be, finally, someone else to fucking talk to.
Yes, I like all of that. But here's the great thing. So, Jason. So not Adam, but everyone else, close your mind, close your eyes, open your mind, and think about Jason. What you think about with Jason,
me?
because you know the answer to this.
Oh, okay.
When you think of Jason, you imagine hockey mask, chainsaw, boiler suit, or something like that, right? Or the
Machete.
get up,
Chainsaw's
Yeah.
Leatherface.
Right. You and I see machete. Jason, in a lot of pop culture, is always seen with a chainsaw. He's never fucking used a chainsaw. So this is your opportunity to have Jason finally use a chainsaw. Like, he's going through S-Mart, and Ash gets his chainsaw hand, and, like, he's fighting Michael or Freddy or Hacken.Slash or whatever, and you have like Jason like grab Ash by the arm and swing the chainsaw through Ash into Michael or someone like that, and or maybe he rips the chainsaw off of Ash's arm or something. Yes.
Oh,
that's who Hacken/Slash is.
It makes sense that you would like that.
Well, let's see the porn. Come on.
Then the very end. So, Jason's the winner.
Jenna Ortega.
So he's just
all day, all fucking day.
Jason's the winner. So it just ends, him walking off into the distance. Like it's a middle of nowhere type of thing, and you hear a chainsaw start, but it's not the one that he has, and then it's Leatherface coming for the sequel.
Originally, the post-credit scene in Freddy vs. Jason was they both died. They went down to hell, and the post-credit scene was like you're in hell, and they're off in each other and facing each other.
They're offing each other.
They're off facing each other, and as they get ready to come at each other one last time, these chains fly and then grab them by the hands, and you hear what seems to be the problem, and the camera pans over, and it's Pinhead.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
That was the original post-credit sequence.
Oh, that would have been so much better than what we got.
They couldn't get
the permission for it.
Yeah, because I think the reason why Freddy vs. Jason took forever, besides it being 10,000 scripts, was New Line and Dimension. When New Line had Freddy but didn't have Jason, and it couldn't cross over.
It was probably some legal mumbo jumbo money situation. Like, how do we split this? No, Jason's more popular. Freddy's more popular. We get higher billing.
Well, and I'm sure it was one company didn't want their IP to lose,
right?
And the other company didn't want their IP to lose.
That's why Godzilla versus Kong is sort of moot, because Toho says Godzilla never fucking loses.
Yeah, but I think at the end of Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy has definitely lost. He may not be dead, but he lost.
I don't know. It's been so long
he lost his body.
Since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, he's just a severed head at the end.
Yeah. Doesn't he, wink at the camera or something?
Yeah.
I just remember, the knockoff Jay character gets, eaten by, some stoner caterpillar.
No, he gets taken over by it. Because it goes into his mouth and takes over his body.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was the
Jason
weirdest.
Jason cuts him in half.
So long.
That was the weirdest fucking...
So there's a documentary called Never Sleep Again where they go through every Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and then they go through Freddy vs. Jason.
Do they talk about circular windows and the meaning that they have?
No, that's
in the documentary.
That's Halloween. So when they get to Freddy vs. Jason, they actually have Jason Mewes sit in, and he's like, "So when I was in this movie," and then about halfway through, he's like, "I wasn't in this fucking movie," and he gets up. And that's pretty funny.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah, Never Sleep Again on the Freddy vs. Jason part of Never Sleep Again. It's like a 6-hour long movie because it goes through every.
That's how long that Halloween episode felt.
It's on Tubi if you want to watch it.
That's interesting.
Interesting. Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Anything to do with the Wreckers, I think they should put into a movie. I think Michael Bay actually put the Wreckers in, but I like doing legitimate Wreckers would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, you could just throw away everything that is live action Transformers.
Did Cup ever make it into live action?
No. No, not that I recall. But I mean, they had so many generic people that threw real names on and killed. I mean, they did it so often they actually repeated a couple names. So,
what I want to happen, and this isn't even a storyline, but when they finally do get the X-Men into the Marvel Universe, I want to, at the end of one of the next Guardians movie, whenever that happened, they have met the Shi'ar, and they're like, "Wait, you have a compatriot from Earth? We did something there a long time ago," or something like that. I've felt something from that planet, or something along those lines.
You know what I want to see in the next X-Men movie?
What?
Dark Phoenix.
They've never done that one before.
It'd be nice if they did it right.
Or only God forgives, man kills, or whatever.
I want to see...
Inferno would be a fun storyline. They did it all right in the X-Men 97 cartoon. They kind of sped through it.
with Doctor Strange now, and I'd like them to bring Ghost Rider into a meaningful into the MCU.
Oh, you getting your wish?
What?
You're getting your wish.
I am.
They confirmed not Keanu Reeves, Norman Reedus as Johnny Blaze.
Isn't he already in the MCU? Because he was in Shield.
Yeah,
That was Robbie Reyes.
Well, I mean, he's still the Ghost Rider.
He's a Ghost Rider, yeah.
Well,
I think they've basically said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon. Like, I think they've said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was not canon. Same with, like, the Inhumans and whatnot.
I don't remember them saying that, especially because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. specifically deals with the fallout from a lot of the MCU stuff.
And it has one of the characters.
I understand that. But I'm pretty certain going forward, like, I thought I read something that S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., nothing from it is not considered main tier canon. Anything that disputes anything that happens in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. trumps it if it happens in the main MCU movies. So it is what's classified as second degree canon. So
okay, second degree canon is different than not being canon.
Right. So
second degree canon. That's more
they
of
will
like
not
blunderbuss.
anything that they have done in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So if they decide to do Absorbing Man and the main MCU, the main MCU Absorbing Man is the real one. The other one is just some guy who had similar powers.
Huh.
Yeah, but so I don't remember which movie it's in. I think it's Blade. They confirmed Norman Reedus as Johnny Blaze.
Because they're working towards Midnight Suns.
Right, and I want to say that Nick Cage is going to reprise his role, and he's going to play Johnny Blaze's father.
That'd be kind of cool.
Well, then he wouldn't be reprising his role.
Well, no, I guess not. Yeah, right. That's not the right term.
He'd be catty-corny to the role.
Catty-corny.
Catty-corner.
You know, I looked it up. It's actually, depending on where you're from, it's actually catty or caddy.
Caddy corner.
It's catty.
No.
Catty.
With a D. Caddy.
It's also catty. I looked it up. Because I thought the same thing.
And if you say it with a T, you're wrong.
Okay, keep talking.
So what they should have done...
I don't care what you Google. I'm just saying if you say it with a T, you're wrong. It's caddy.
So what they should have done at the end of the Flash movie is have a post-credit scene where it's just this orbiting satellite.
Catty cornered.
See, with a
That
D.
was creepy.
No, that's spelled wrong. Caddy with a T.
And
Double Ds.
then you hear two people talking, and it's like, you know, the multiverse is all damaged now and all this stuff. And then a person walks up and like looks out, and it's just there's a panel in Crisis on Infinite Earths where it's literally just like it's a 2-page spread of like all these different versions of Earth, like in a giant circle, and that's what he sees. And you find out it's the Monitor, and then basically you can have James Gunn set up his main whatever DC thing is. It'll probably get screwed up because they won't want to take the time to establish anything. It'll be, hey, let's do what Marvel did in 10 years in 2.
Right.
So when that fails, what you do is you just do all these like one-offs. Like you don't get...
Poop.
You are a child.
You do all these so like if whoever you have to play Superman in your main DC universe, you don't have him when you make a DC Red Sun live action movie. Same thing, like if you do like a Batman Elseworld, and that way you can do all these like off the wall. That way you can do all of these like off the wall, the Doom that came to Gotham storylines, Gotham by Gaslight, and
I plugged it back in, Tyler.
Not have to worry, you know, if people, you know, like it or not.
You're gonna do it again.
No, I won't.
Because it won't affect your main continuity.
I really like that idea. I think, and it also sets up like a convergent storyline, which I really enjoyed. Or at least it had premise. The writing was bad. The premise was good on it. I enjoyed the premise more than I enjoyed the writing.
They're doing a Final Crisis animated movie right now. I think it's already on part 3.
Yeah, parts 1 and 2 are out, but 3 is not out yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it all to come out, like I usually do before I watch it.
Yeah.
So I figured, like, you could gamble and be like, you know, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the Last Night on Earth storyline, and then people are like, that was bad. You know, we didn't like it, or we're gonna do this storyline and it didn't work out. And like, okay, well that universe is, you know, its own separate thing. That doesn't affect, you know, the main story. That way you can still put out, you know,
50 different Batman movies.
Yeah. You can still churn out different stories and it not affect, you know, you can theoretically, what DC should do, spend more time writing your main continuity and focus on that, and then you can still put out a Batman movie that, you know,
so they can test
fills
the waters first. If people actually like this, yeah, that's canon.
Well, like, you remember with the Christopher Nolan Batman, like, you got a Batman this year, then you didn't get another Batman movie for, like, 3 years. And then you didn't get another one for, like, another 3 years. This is, you know, your main story, it gives you time in between it, but you're still pumping out actual product that people can watch.
To keep the IP alive.
Yeah. So that you keep interest, but at the same time, people are like, okay, that was a really good story, but I still want to know what's going on, you know, over here. And then you also have your fans that are like, I don't give two shits about this main continuity. I just want to see, you know, a Soviet Superman, or I just want to see, you know, Thomas Wayne Batman or something like that.
In this day and age, could we do a live-action Red Sun Superman with what the current going on?
Absolutely not. I would be surprised. I'm frankly surprised you still see it on shelves to be bought. I think there's no way with the political landscape you could do a Red Sun. I actually stopped wearing my Red Sun t-shirt. Because I have a Red Sun Superman t-shirt, and I really loved it, and I can no longer wear it.
I like that version of Green Lantern.
Red Sun?
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool.
Are you done typing in wiener into your phone?
Oh, no, I'm good. Go ahead. We're getting long in the tooth. I was gonna do.
Well,
something.
you weren't even listening for like the past 10 minutes.
I was.
That's fine, you know.
We didn't.
He's got someplace to be.
Why? He ain't gonna get the job.
Oh, you got a job interview?
Mm-hmm.
On a Sunday?
Yeah.
Where?
Where at?
The nursing home, right?
Chelsea.
The nursing home, right?
He's going back to his old job of jizz mopper.
Boobies.
Okay.
All
This the last one I'll say, and this one is for Adam.
Okay.
It's a He-Man movie.
Okay.
And it's based on, I think, when DC took over the comic line. It's like He-Man Volume 1. And it starts off with Prince Adam's like being chased in the woods, but like he doesn't know who he is.
Oh yeah.
So like it introduces all these characters. Like all the villains know who they are, but I think it's like a Skeletor like finally won.
So Shadow Weaver puts a spell on all the Eternians, and Skeletor wins. He's in Grayskull. He's got the power, and he's become kind of bored with it because he's gotten what he wants. He still has the power, and he's still evil, but he's just like, it's not what I thought it was.
He got his cake, and when he ate it, it had raisins.
So he put the spell. He put the spell on the heroes. So Adam thinks he's just like a logger.
He's a woodsman.
A logger, a woodsman in the woods, and he's taking care. And Randor is dying. And he's sick and dying in this cabin. He takes care of his dad, and Adam's constantly being visited by this bird who he thinks who is talking to him, and he doesn't know why, but he's only supposed to go so far into the woods, but he kind of goes farther than what he should, and he's attacked by Beastman, and Beastman talks to him as if he's this
I
great.
thought I'd never see you again.
He's like talking to him like he's this great hero, and Adam's like, I fucking live in the woods. I don't know what you're talking about, and that kind of like snaps him out of the spell. Yeah,
So Beastman fucks something else up.
pretty much. Yeah.
And I just thought it was like it'd be a cool way to introduce the story, and then you'd be able to do like I guess it would be an origin story, but it would also, for people that already knew the characters to be like, wait a minute, what do you like? It would be like a rug pull, like you said. Like people that knew He-Man would be like, wait, you're telling me you changed the story and you made Adam, some fucking dude in the woods, and then you get to like the turning point, you're like, oh, okay, I see what they did.
One of the ideas for it wasn't the latest He-Man, but like too recently, when they've been trying to get a He-Man movie up and going, Adam was a football player in America.
So they made him into Flash Gordon of the New York Jets.
I think so. And then there was another idea where he was an Iraq war vet. I don't know if
as sort of like an escapism thing, or
I don't know.
Maybe, go to another world.
Maybe that gave
Maybe
that gave him the reason why he could sword fight because he had military. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think in the military they train you to fight with a sword anymore.
Battle tactics. I think for whatever reason, I don't understand when you've got these Thor movies, you've got Lord of the Rings, you've got Game of Thrones. Why they're afraid to just stay in Eternia, but they always want to do
because they're
go over to Earth or come from Earth. I don't understand.
Because they want more of a connection. They want more of a connection of like, oh, you could see yourself in this situation.
Because they save a fortune on set building.
Yes,
yeah, but I guess, but
that's why the He-Man. Yeah, that probably is.
Is that why the '80s live action Castle Grayskull looked like shit?
Well, it was a matte painting.
It didn't even look like.
Actually, you say it looks cheap, but the set.
No, I said it looked like.
Where they sword fight, that held a record for the biggest movie set ever built.
No. I'm talking about like the exterior of Castle Grayskull. Looks like a fucking pirate ship.
It was a matte painting.
So you couldn't have painted it better?
I don't know what the idea was.
It probably might have been stipulations. Like they probably didn't get anybody. They didn't give him any source material. They just said like, "Oh, it looks like a skull castle."
There's not even a skull on it.
There is. Look it up. There's no way they couldn't have source material. This was like the height of He-Man. There's no way no one knew what He-Man was at this point.
Well, from stories I've heard of, like just what Magic the Gathering outsourced a novel during the War of the Spark that was absolutely atrocious because they literally just passed the buck to a freelance author and gave him some details, and people didn't like it so much because the guy knew nothing about the source material. So it does not put it past me.
Oh, yeah, that little tiny skull.
Well, you said there was no skull. Technically, I'm right. No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying one IP is better than the other. I'm just saying.
Well,
He-Man's a little more visible than Magic.
Well, is your fan getting in the way of actual reality?
I don't think so. It was $1 billion industry
for kids at the time.
Yeah, but even before we started doing My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, I knew what My Little Pony was.
Yes, because you're in the sphere
of My Little Pony.
Of just understanding that there are child properties that are liked by adults. What I'm saying is that might have been a different time. Like that's kid shit, and it just completely got away from the focus of some people.
To emphasize Cody's point, do you watch football at all?
Do I watch football? No.
Yeah, do you follow football? Know anything about football?
I know stuff about football. I don't follow it, no.
Okay. Football or soccer football?
Yeah,
football,
which one? Okay. American football?
Yeah. So what are the five? What are the five NFC North teams?
NFC North teams?
Yeah.
You've got the Iraqi IEDs. You've got the I can't think of any other countries.
Okay. So now name 5 He-Man characters.
5. I can't. I couldn't tell you.
He-Man?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, he's talking about us.
Right. I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that it is obvious to us because we are fans. But when you look at what would be a slam dunk easy question in another the 5 NFC North teams.
No, what was the question for the movie?
Like you felt like they gave him no source material, and like you think that could completely.
No, you said that.
Yeah,
right.
But I'm saying because I know the behind the scenes story that they did give him source material.
Right, but what I'm saying is that if I came to you and said, Adam, I need logos for 5 NFC North teams tomorrow or next week, do them, and I didn't give you a whole lot more than that's 5 teams in NFC North.
Wouldn't I Google?
I mean, you could, but this was
before Google.
Right?
What I'm saying is I'm not arguing your point. I'm saying you said they probably didn't have source material. I'm saying because I know for a fact they did have source material. I'm not arguing.
Well, that's also the point I'm getting. If they was given source material, why didn't they just make it a replica of what the source material given? They made some creative liberties of no, I don't want to do this because it's a cartoon.
We're arguing the same point. You just brought up, well, maybe they didn't have a source material. What I'm saying is, I'm telling you, I do know that they had the source material.
Okay, and that's the
case. They may have had it, but they didn't use it. They didn't. This is what I'm trying
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they might have had if they had the source material and they still fucked it up that much. That shows me they didn't really care enough to do it right.
Right, but I don't understand. I was just arguing the point when you said they didn't have a
Okay, so that shows to me even more my point. They didn't give a fuck what they was doing.
They might not have. It was the Canon group, so probably not.
Yeah.
Wasn't Filmation based in Canada?
No. Canon. Canon movie group.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Why would you think they're...
Well, a lot of I know a lot of animation's current studios are based in Canada currently.
Nipples.
All right, this has been Damage Control Podcasting. Well, unprofessional look at modern drama.
Definitely unprofessional.
Wait. I do need to look this up because...
What? Filmation is Canadian?
I don't think it is.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But I am curious.
Why they gotta be Canadian, Cody?
I just know a lot of media that I watch nowadays is actually based out of Canada.
Reseda, California.
Okay.
They're not.
See, I thought they were Californian.
They're not Canadian because then it'd be like, I have the power, eh?
Yeah, Skeletor, you hoser.
We have to get to Grayskull, don't you know? I think that's Michigan.
That was a little Wisconsin.
They're close enough. They go back and forth.
Thanks for watching. If you watch this video.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do the thanks again for watching. That was great.
Do the what?
Do the thanks again for watching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks again for watching.
All right,
Jesus.
Do we have the rights for that?
Yeah, we're good.
Do we?
Are you sure?
But.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe to our channel and help us pronounce every word in the world.
What the?
Are you?
Wait. That wasn't like an AI thing.
No, that was a joke.
That was a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam.
That's all right.
That's actually pretty. I'm not gonna lie. Like the word was very simple, but that could help me with some of my longer words.
Give me one.
Like
Give me one real quick.
Antonoba.
How do you spell it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. If you can pronounce it, you don't need help pronouncing it.
Charter.
what?
Charter.
Character?
Character. Yeah, that's it.
Character?
I always end up spelling character wrong for some reason.
I thought he was trying to spell
Antonova?
character.
Antonoba.
Caricature. Yeah.
Pronouncenames.com.
Jesus.
All right. We before we
Push pause.
All right. You've been listening to Damage Control Podcasting.
Have they?
Oh God, I hope
Have
so.
they?
Probably not. They probably checked out a long time ago.
The last 30 minutes of this were a bust, but I think the rest of it was pretty good.
I liked all of it.
Yeah. So this is
I was good until Adam kept playing YouTube videos while I was trying to talk.
right. All right. Anyway, you've been listening to the Orig, Damage Control Podcasting Productions. Make sure you check out new episodes every Monday on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts.
No,
And-
you fucked that up.
Did I?
Mostly Mondays. Mainly Mondays. Almost Mondays.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Sometimes Mondays.
Yeah. Let's try
Sometimes
Sometimes
Mondays. And make sure you check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X.
Not triple X.
We'll have a picture of...
Maybe triple X.
We'll have a picture of the Universal Champion up there pretty soon.
Yep, here pretty soon.
Will we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Daniel,
Will we?
make sure you wear something nice.
All right, I will.
Whatever happened to the dress?
Adam tried giving me a cursed dead woman's dress, and he still hasn't given me the one that is not cursed or dead.
To be fair, the dress wasn't dead.
Someone died in the dress.
No,
I'm
they
not.
didn't die in
I'm not
it.
doing that. I still will hold up my lost bet of where I need to wear the dress. Adam has not provided me with a dress that is not cursed.
She didn't die in it.
I refuse to wear a dead woman's dress. Sorry.
You keep saying that, but there's always this weird look in your eye when you say it. Like, don't look at me in the eyes when I'm saying this.
Yeah.
I mean, I started to kill her in the dress, but she
Oh,
didn't die.
okay.
In
Adam, press the button.
There it is.
Yeah, but you were wearing the dress when you did it. That's the weird thing.
Wait,
All right,
wait,
thank
wait,
you so
wait,
much for
wait,
listening.
hang on.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
There's one more thing I want to do. Hang on.
No, there isn't.
Oh, God.
No, there isn't.
Can I hit the button? Will that implode the show?
No, hang on.
Might. You could break it.
No,
Ah,
It's a highly technical process.
Break
my
the
God.
universe.
no,
Yeah.
never mind.
I'm this close.
It won't come up.
All right.
Had
We're gonna
that,
have a
had
next-
that problem before, haven't you?
We're going to have a Nexus vid, Adam, if you don't hurry up.
All right.
I'm done. I'm waiting for Daniel.
Anyway, thank you again so much for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe. Adam, push the button.